Hello and welcome back to Art Business Mentor, the radio show. I'm your host, Gary Crook. I'm your Art Business Mentor, and we're back. Yes, we are. Quickly, what are you listening to? Well, of course, we highlighted that. You're listening to Art Business Mentor, the radio show, and the primary purpose, you're listening to it on Talk Radio 1080 WKJK from beautiful Louisville, Kentucky. And very quickly, the topic of the show today is observations of an arts and craft fair. I visit many of these arts and craft fairs around the country, and oftentimes I really like going to those versus, say, these massive gallery walks or these big Shakespeare festivals or stuff like that, because to me that's where my audience is, quite frankly, is the arts and craft fair. These are a lot of artists who are just starting out, or craftspeople that are, or if they're not starting out, they're attempting to at least represent themselves. They're representing themselves, and they're learning. And feelings can be pretty raw at these little shindigs. And anyway, in going to one over the last holiday weekend, I went to one here in Louisville, Kentucky, and wrote down several observations that I remember from my days of doing arts and craft fairs, and thought that I would highlight them. Very quickly, the purpose of The primary purpose of Art Business Mentor, the radio show, is to help other artists help themselves in their individual arts practices. We want to help artists cement their value in their local communities, i.e. arts and crafts show observations, and by showing the artists how to co-opt existing institutions or resistors, that oftentimes would be your buying audience or your other artist colleagues, in order to create value for themselves. So that's what we do. We try to help artists help themselves. And a lot of this show is focused around marketing and helping the artist market themselves and help the artist basically become a salesman of sorts. In other words, represent themselves, because whether you're selling your individual arts practices in order to create a living for yourself right now, or in the future, it's very important to know what you're doing, and it's very important to know the business side of it, because when you are approached by some legitimate representation and or say contract negotiations, you're coming from a point of view where you know what you're talking about, and that's very important, because if you don't, the old adage is ignorance can be very, very expensive. So anyway, very quick, we have a website, artbusinessmentor.com. 2 points of, or 2 tabs of interest on the left side would be the radio show, where we break down each and every radio show by subject and date for you to go back and listen to at your leisure. And Gary Crook Blogger, where you can sign up and be alerted as when these radio shows are uploaded and ready to go. Okay, observations of an arts and craft fair. First of all, I want to say that it takes a lot of guts to go out in front of an audience and represent yourself, artist, okay? A lot of these observations, if you will, are going to sound kind of like critiques, but, take it with a 50-pound bag of salt here. I'm trying to help. But I do want to say up front, we want to do the disclaimer here. We want to do the feel-good part of the critique and say that it does take a tremendous amount of guts to go out there to set up your little 10 by 10 booth and attempt to represent yourself. And that takes a lot of guts. So I can't stress that enough. It takes a lot of guts to do that. And you guys are going to be much, much better off having done this and continue doing this, because at some point you will outgrow the arts and crafts show circuit, and you will get much bigger buying audience, and they will approach you versus you having to go out and kind of fish them out. Now, having said that, let's go on to the observations. Number 1, know your audience, okay? Know your audience and tailor your art product to that audience. For example, big paintings, people attempting to sell big dollar, big sized paintings, for example, to a group of individuals that are walking around, say, on the 4th of July, and are looking for small knick-knacky gift items that cost no more than, I wouldn't say any more than $10, maybe 20 at the most. So one of the big problems here, guys, is I know you want to represent yourself. I know you want to have your paintings out there and sell your paintings, your original artwork, for big dollars. But you have to know your audience. The particular show I went to was actually a garden arts and crafts show, which it was in a historic neighborhood, and a majority of the audience that was actually there, I'd say at least a solid 50% of them actually lived within, say, a square mile of this arts and crafts show. So you need to know your audience, and these guys are not interested in buying big paintings, especially when there's a fireworks show later on. So you have to create small individual artworks that are inexpensive enough that you can just sit there and roll these things out, man. Just roll them out. I mean, you need to know your audience. Look at them. I mean, they're not going to want to walk around with an 18 by 30 painting or whatever that weighs 3 whatever tons because it's etched glass or something like that. So know your audience here. Number two is majority of the products are not disposable enough for resale. This is very important. If you want to have a buying audience, you need to be able to create a product that essentially gets used up, okay? So in other words, people got to want to come back and they want to see what's new and what else you guys are doing and blah, blah, blah. But it's not disposable enough. One painting that lasts forever is going to generate possibly one sale, and then that's it. So you need to create small, inexpensive, $20 and under, small things like cards or something, and make them disposable enough. In other words, they get used up so people come back and they want to buy more. And this is probably another really good example is nor do these artists change their product lines. Come on, guys, stop painting the same damn 3 oranges on a still life that you've been painting, or more to the point that you brought last year or the year before or the year before. It's like you need to change your product lines. People in this country, the United States of America, are constantly looking for fresh new looks, okay? Fresh stuff. So don't get discouraged when you're bringing the same paintings over and over again because you sold one last year, that it's an 18 by 24, it's too big to carry around, and you're asking $500 for it, okay? Know your audience. All right, very quickly, we're going to head out to a commercial. You're listening to Talk Radio 1080 WKJK.
Psst. Yeah, you. Come here a minute. Have you heard about the new revolution? It's called silent screen propaganda. It's a worldwide revolution for change. One shirt at a time. Go check it out at silentscreenpropaganda.com and get involved. Come on, man. silentscreenpropaganda.com and get involved. Pass it on.
Looking for a children's fundraiser outside of chocolate bars and cookie dough? Then try the Giggles Program selection of shea butter, bath, and body products. Their programs are designed to help raise money within your community with no out-of-pocket expenses to you. They are dedicated to making your fundraiser a smashing success. So check out thegigglesprogram.com or call 231-1079. That's 231-1079.